Before we begin, let's briefly introduce ourselves. We are group Lâm Huy, Hữu Huy, Trung Hiếu, Nguyễn Vũ from class Nguyễn Ly, and our video is teaching the role of five acts in Vietnam is history and security. This topic is useful to us because it connects to historical events, biologically issue, and the human passion instead of simply looking at painting of group property as the criteria of project. We want to interpret them as cultural document that reflect how people like, what they be like, and what they be look for. Young that project we have to practice our speaking skill, critical thinking, teamwork, and the ability to architect and present information in a clear and agreeing way. We also want to show that I is not something written or if you go is it something that everyone can understand, relate to, and clear form.
The museum provides the perfect environment for this kind of exploration. It brings together artworks from different eras, ancient stone carvings, wooden sculptures from temples, folk art, traditional lacquer paintings, silk portraits, wartime posters, and works from modern Vietnamese artists. Because the museum organizes its galleries chronologically and thematically, it becomes very easy to see how art has evolved alongside Vietnamese society. In this video, we will guide you through several artworks and collections that highlight the connection between fine arts and Vietnamese society. We will talk about how art can record historical events, how it can deliver political or social messages, and how it can express cultural values as well as spiritual beliefs. Our goal is not only to describe what we see, but also to interpret and analyze the meaning behind it. By the end of this video, we hope that you will have a broader understanding of how important fine arts are in shaping the national identity of Vietnam. Art allows us to preserve the past, communicate ideas, and understand who we are as a community. Thank you for joining us. And now, let's begin our exploration.
This activity is part of the Vietnamese đồng hồ for practicing tradition. In the past, they are artwork we make by hand using wooden block, Catto, Catto, and plastic. Đồng hồ practicing we create not only for decoration but also to separate the identify, be verify, homemade, and vocal of Vietnamese people. Here we are explaining inside the traditional brain process of travel, a closer in printing, while a separate wooden block and the artist had to play the pen carefully to make sure the usual upper cleanly. That hand-on activity help us understand how much skill and precision are required to create a single đồng hồ printing. For many generation đồng hồ printing, we are sure to educate children and make family feel important more than personal. Some printed king near a hard work. We are green by cultural, filtering fire and mutiny spiry. That so that Vietnamese fire have a early play an important role in spreading so-called influence and supporting community in entering.
As we open the door to the prehistoric art section, we are stepping into one of the earliest chapters of Vietnamese artistic history. This gallery preserves objects created thousands of years ago, long before writing record existed. Through these artifacts, we can see how a very first form of Vietnamese fine art began. Simple, practical, but filled with meaning. Our first stop is a collection of stone jellies from the north of Vietnam, dated about 3000 BC. At the early stage, fine art are closely connected to daily life. These stone bracelets and ornaments show that even prehistoric community valued beauty, identity, and craftsmanship. They reflect how early people express their social status, belief, and artistic scene long before metal tools appeared. Although the shapes are simple, each piece requires great skill to craft and polish. This tells us that artistic creativity exists in Vietnam thousands of years ago, forming the foundation for later artistic tradition.
Nearby we see protein famous for the đồng đậu closer in Vĩnh Phúc province like to back around 1000 BC. The plentic gravel into the clay are not only protect a slow help respect and understand the worldview, a free time of easily Vietnamese community. Also the symbol you track what we can see by bringing into a community symbol are in a hypocrisy slowly.
After that, we've come to the containers section. It is found in Thanh Hóa and Hải Phòng province, approximately 500 BC.
Looking at the surface of Ngọc Vũ drum, we can understand why it is considered one of the greatest masterpieces of Đông Sơn culture. The circular layers show scenes of dancer, warrior, bird, and geometric profile. Each ring carries a part of history, their rituals, their celebration, and their connection with nature. Even after more than 2000 years, the artistic message is still clear.
We present it for change how fine art we are deeply embedded in the fine longer the broader the proportion, symmetry, and replay new style so that earlier Vietnamese art giant component for good easily why artistic innovation they actually reflect the growing complexity of society we are talking. We not just practice also by symbol of skill, day and culture.
One of the nice things about this museum is how smoothly each gallery transitions into the next. Even though the themes are different, everything still feels connected. Moving through these rooms almost feels like traveling through different chapters of a long story. Each section reveals another layers of Vietnamese culture. It's interesting how the lighting, colors, and arrangement of the galleries affect the mood of the artworks. It shapes how we experience them without us even noticing. Entering the pre-1945 fine art session allows us to see how Vietnamese artists responded to historical events, social movements, and cultural shifts. Their works reflect not only personal creativity, but also the collective identity of the nation during a time of change. Here we are looking at Sound of Tây Nguyên Gong, a bronze sculpture created in 1970 by Molokai. The figure represents a man raising the gong with confidence and energy, an iconic image in Tây Nguyên culture. This artwork shows how fine arts can preserve cultural heritage, especially in tangible traditional music, rituals, and community celebrations. Even though the sculpture is modern, it reflects generations of histories and highlights the important role of ethnic minorities in Vietnamese cultural identity. From this angle, we can clearly see the gentle curves and warm texture of the terracotta. The artist shapes the mother's posture with quiet strength while the child rests securely in her arms. There is no dramatic movement here, only a simple, peaceful moment of protection and love through works like Mother and Child. Vietnamese fine arts remind us that the deepest part of our history are often found in everyday human relationships. It is a sculpture that celebrates care, resilience, and the emotional foundation of Vietnamese society.
Summer View is a beautiful example of how Vietnam's fine art reflects cultural identity. Blended in a 1009 portrait, it shows the quick traditional invasion, activity to portray lot flowers swimming in a washerman are young it grand 7 years as the experience the about between human lad and big cow and why in the earth is standard but are Vietnamese culture and sovereignty. Jay blending by the so the apply development of model Vietnam are rằng it possible by work and automatism they reflect changing so quality of the mind 24 central.
This section explains the role of pentagonal poster in Vietnamese art. They use simple fly shape, bright color, and symbolic imagery to communicate important messages about society, politics, and national movement. From the Indochina fine art school to later generation, many artists have developed this style, turned into a distinctive and powerful form of Vietnamese revolutionary art. Created in 1967 by Huyền Văn. This gorgeous poster illustrates the powerful momentum of the Đông Xuân Offensive. This simplifies form and dynamic composition was designed for inspire confidence, unity, and determination among the people during the resistance war. Cổ tích đồng quê is a 19 95 postcard by Nguyễn that captures the familiar atmosphere of Vietnamese countryside life. The boiling lights and limited color of the workout technique make the scene feel both traditional and expressive. The gentle folk tale about daily life with farmers, buffaloes, and village culture. In these galleries, we show many different paper and workup artwork. It's showing a unique part of Vietnamese life and culture. But this large place gives lots of memories. Immediately call out attention. Its color, direct character, and surreal composition make it feels like a dream filled with rural memories.
Now we are entering the section of Vietnamese oil paintings. This area highlights how artists used oil on canvas to express modern life, emotions, and the changing of society of Vietnam. This gallery features many Vietnamese oil paintings, each with a unique mood and style. But the piece that caught our attention the most is Portrait of Soldier by Nguyễn. Its soft colors and symbolic figures create a calm but emotional scene that really stands out.
This 1923 oil painting of Phạm Ngũ Lão show how Vietnamese fine art record history and express national identity. Using European painting techniques but portraying a Vietnamese heroic figure, the artist bridged modern art with traditional cultural values. The scene reflects a famous legend of Phạm Ngũ Lão discipline and patriotism, reminding viewers of the spirit of the Trần dynasty. Through artwork like this, Vietnamese artists not only depict the past but also shape public understanding of history and society. Taking a break by the window, we were reminded that art isn't only inside the museum. The peaceful scene outside, the tree, the street, and the people reflect the same spirit found in Vietnamese artwork. It shows how art grows in real life, history, and everyday story, shaping how we see ourselves and our culture.
As we left the museum, we realized that everything we'd seen pointed to one central idea. Fine arts have always played a vital role in Vietnamese history and society. The galleries showed that art wasn't just decoration, it recorded events, expressed spiritual beliefs, and reflected everyday life. From ancient sculptures to modern lacquer works, Vietnamese art carried historical depth and served as social and political commentary. These pieces celebrated heroes, preserved cultural traditions, responded to colonial influence, and revealed the perspective of different communities. They showed how artists helped shape national identity by capturing the emotion and story of their time. In the end, it was clear that Vietnamese fine arts create a living dialogue between past and present, reminding us where we come from and why cultural identity matters.
We really appreciate this channel to clean upside the classroom, being her in everything far more than more pleasant and more vegan food to us. Thank for watching our video. We hope you enjoy this sample Only wait up, and we hope you visit museum someday to flex it beauty for yourself.